It's NBA All-Star time, which means Steph versus Sabrina is right around the corner. If you guys are excited to see the first ever WNBA versus NBA three-point contest, go on ahead and like this video for me. For the first time since his rookie season, Klay Thompson came off the bench for the Golden State Warriors win over the Utah Jazz, and let me tell you, he popped off. This came just days after Klay Thompson finally admitted, look, I'm okay with taking a smaller role with the Golden State Warriors, which is exactly what we're going to talk about on today's show. On the back half, we do have some pretty interesting reports that just came out from Charania, so you're going to want to stick around. This is The Warriors Today by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Allie Barefoot. So let's break down what happened in Utah last night, right? This was the starting lineup. No Klay Thompson, but the rookie, Brandin Podziemski, slid his way in there, and you know what? Rightfully so. He deserved to be in the starting lineup with how he had been playing 2 nights ago against the Clippers. He was the only person other than Steph Curry to have more than 20 points that game. So Brandin Podziemski's been playing his ass off. I'm glad to see that it's paying off, but of course, to start somebody, you're going to have to sit somebody. Well, if Klay Thompson volunteered as tribute to come off the bench for the first time in his career, let's see how it plays out. It looks like it went pretty well. 35 points for Klay Thompson, led all scores, 6 rebounds, 13 for 22 from the field, and 7 for 13 from a three-point line. This is the Klay Thompson Golden State Warriors fans know. However, he's been pretty inconsistent this entire season. A couple nights ago, we only had 9 points in the starting lineup, which has been more Klay Thompson's speed. Maybe 35 minutes is just too much for Klay Thompson, almost being 35 years old. So, with that being said, it looks like Klay Thompson may or may not be coming off the bench for the rest of his time in the Bay Area. So, do you guys like Klay coming off the bench? Of course, 35 points is going to make anybody okay with this decision, but it also could hurt the ego. It could hurt the team. I personally think this is a positive thing. I would type yes, but if you guys don't agree, type N for no, type Y for yes if you guys do. Let's go ahead and break down what Klay Thompson had to say about being benched. And I was actually pretty proud of this response because we have seen his emotion just come into full fruition this season. But he said, look, you can do 2 things. You can pout or you can go out there and respond. I thought I did the latter very well tonight. 35 points is the positive response, absolutely, from Klay Thompson. And I'm actually pretty proud of Steve Kerr here because even though Brandin Podziemski's popped off on games, he's saying, oh, Brandin Podziemski's going to play forever, and then doesn't play for the next 3 games. But right here, it looks like Steve Kerr tells reporters in Utah he's going to stick with Klay Thompson coming off the bench. So he's not just going to take one 35-point game and say, you know what, you earned your spot back, kid. Go on ahead and have it. Steve Kerr did add on, it doesn't mean that it's permanent. We'll give it a little look and see how it goes. Thompson had 35 points, and Kerr said it gives us some firepower off the bench, especially since Chris Paul has been out with an injury. Dario hasn't been the main guy coming off the bench either. Jonathan Kuminga's now in the starting lineup. Moses Moody and Gary Payton have been coming back from injuries. So to have a healthy Klay Thompson come off the bench, that is something opponents did not prepare for. And it gives the Warriors some edge, especially when you're going to throw a rookie, a very aggressive rookie, into the starting lineup. But there is more to discuss on the back half of this show because we are going to touch on, is Klay Thompson done in the Bay Area after this season? There is a new report by Shams I do want to break down for you guys and give all the details, including my own opinion, and I want to hear from y'all, so stick around. But first, let's talk about Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America right now. I'm playing it, producer Jack's playing it, and here's why you guys should too. It takes less than 60 seconds, and all you guys have to do is pick between 2 to 6 players and just pick more or less on their projected stats, and you can win up to 25 times your money on any entry. And what's even better about Prize Picks is they actually have picks going on right now for NBA All-Star Weekend. Look, if you guys thought the dunk contest, the three-point contest was fun, go on ahead and put your picks down. I have Jaylen Brown in the dunk contest going to score more than 94.5 round 1 points. And I have Tyrese Halliburton making more than 5.5 money ball shots. I mean, come on. NBA All-Star Weekend's supposed to be fun. So is Prize Picks. So put the two together and go on ahead and make your Prize Picks right now. prizepicks.com/CLNS. Be sure to use that promo code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100. That way you can watch yourself win some real money in real time. All right, so we're going to talk about whether or not Klay Thompson is going to be leaving the Bay Area here, because there is a report that Klay Thompson is expected to explore the free agency market at the end of the season. And rightfully so. That's what a lot of players do when their contract is up, because you have to remember, Klay Thompson denied a 2-year, $48 million contract in the offseason. And if he's going to deny that contract, I would have to assume he's going to explore other options, especially since he just has been struggling in the Bay Area this year. Well, Shams Charania did break down on the Pat McAfee show of ESPN saying, look, this has been a really stressful year for Klay Thompson. He's been going through it at different points. I think he's doing the best to get through it, as you can see, taking smaller roles and trying to be a more emotional aspect on the team. And he continued to say he's set to enter free agency at the end of the season. I expect him to test the marketplace. Well, Shams went on to go on ahead and say, these are the top 5 teams that would be interested in somebody like Klay Thompson. Shams said the 2 teams in Florida, the 2 teams in LA, and Boston Celtics, and perhaps, maybe even some more Eastern Conference teams could be interested in Klay Thompson. Why wouldn't you be? The guy has helped the Golden State Warriors throughout decades. Let's bring up that List 5 logo one more time here, Jack, because I want to break down what this could mean to have Klay Thompson on any of these teams. The Orlando Magic has been dying to have a veteran presence on their team. They almost explored a trade with Chris Paul. The Miami Heat, adding Jimmy Buckets, adding Duncan Robinson, adding Bam Adebayo to Klay Thompson's resume would be unreal. The Lakers could possibly be a solution for Klay Thompson. His dad was a Los Angeles Laker. I've always thought of Klay Thompson to be a Laker, but plus the fact that they did just try to go out and get LeBron James by the NBA trade deadline, there could be a nice switch going on in the offseason. The Clippers, I'm not sure how they're going to swing that. Maybe if Kawhi Leonard came to the Warriors, maybe they could free up some cap space on the Clippers roster. And the Boston Celtics would be dominant, more dominant with Klay Thompson. But here's what 95.7 did report. This is what Steve Kerr had to say about what they want from Klay Thompson this season. Look, Klay has been starting to reconcile everything that's happened. He's had a hard time these last couple of years. I don't blame him. You try to come back from that many injuries and produce the same way you did before you got hurt. It's hard. But he said parting of being effective later in your career, which Steve Kerr would know, is embracing and accepting those changes. That's why Klay Thompson came out and said, I'm okay with taking a smaller role. And look what it did, Klay. You popped off and had 35 points in 19 minutes. Maybe the Splash Brothers are done. Or maybe this is a new era of the Splash Brothers. Look, overall, I'll sum up my opinion on this is because moving Klay to the bench is the right idea. It truly is. You're going to start rebuilding with Podziemski and Kuminga, which is going to be the face of the franchise if they hold on to those 2 players in the next 5 years when everybody else is retired. Klay Thompson, if he's going to explore free agency, then you got to work on the Warriors they have right now. Klay has every right to explore the free agency. However, I do hope that Mike Dunleavy does come to terms with him in the offseason to keep him around so he can retire as a Golden State Warrior. But if he's not ready to end his career and wants to go explore, that's okay too. A lot of players change teams in their career. And it's going to help the Warriors become better. Why? Because getting rid of Klay Thompson means you do not have to pay $43.2 million next year. Also, if you get rid of Chris Paul and Klay Thompson, who Chris Paul does not have a guaranteed $30 million next season, that's over $70 million right there you can clear up to bring a Giannis, a Kawhi, a LeBron James. You can rebuild the Warriors franchise in a matter of seconds if you clear up $70 million. But I understand Klay Thompson has done wonders for the Bay Area. Do you guys think Klay Thompson should retire a Golden State Warrior? Type 11 if you agree. This does not mean we are going to forget all of his accomplishments he's had for the Golden State Warriors. It just means thank you for your service, and we wish you the best on your next part of your NBA career. Type 11 if you guys want to see Klay Thompson retire a Warrior? And if not, go ahead and comment down below. Tell me why. Let's have some conversations. And while you guys are at it, go ahead and like this video if you love the Dubs. They are going in to the All-Star break over 500, which it took a long while to get here. So I'm happy for the Golden State Warriors. If you guys are too, like this video.